There's a profound transformation that happens when you finally stop holding on. Not the reckless kind of giving up, but a deep, liberating release that frees your soul from invisible chains of fear, pressure, and control. Here's a truth nobody tells you. Much of the struggle in life isn't caused by what you lack, but by your refusal to let go of what's already gone. In Buddhist teaching, this moment of surrender is when the universe leans in and begins to bring you what truly belongs to you. Before we dive into the first insight, subscribe to Insightful Journey, where every video opens a door to calm, clarity, and timeless Buddhist wisdom you won't find elsewhere. Stick around until the end, because I'll share a powerful bonus lesson about the ultimate inner shift that makes life flow in your favor. Lesson 1. The silent prison of clinging. Holding on can feel oddly comforting. You tell yourself that if you grip tight enough, nothing will slip away. Yet beneath this false security is a quiet suffocation. Your heart grows heavy, your mind restless, and your life shrinks inside the tight confines of your grasp. The more you cling, the faster what you love seems to slip through your fingers, like water escaping a clenched fist. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that attachment is the root of suffering. When we attach, we don't just love, we demand, we fear, we try to control. This fear masquerades as protection, but it's actually a silent prison. Here's the paradox. What you desperately try to hold on to often leaves even faster because it can't breathe in your grasp. The tighter the grip, the less you truly possess. Think of a small bird resting in your hand. If you close your fist, the bird panics, struggles, and fades. But if you open your palm, it might fly free, or it may choose to stay, resting in trust. Life is much the same. It doesn't thrive when caged, it flourishes when given room. In today's world, we cling to relationships, jobs, identities, outcomes. You might hold on to a job that no longer fits because change feels dangerous, or cling to a relationship out of fear of loneliness. Maybe you grip the person you once were, afraid of who you might become. But in all these cases, your closed hand blocks what's truly meant for you. Letting go isn't losing, it's an act of trust. In Buddhist practice, releasing is trusting the natural flow of the universe. Just like rivers find the sea without force, life finds where it belongs when you stop pushing. By opening your hand, you make space for blessings to enter. Ask yourself, what are you clutching out of fear? What heavy weight presses so tightly in your hand that your fingers have forgotten how to stretch? If you let go today just for a moment, would it be an end or a new beginning? Remember, letting go doesn't mean abandoning what you love. It means giving both it and yourself the freedom to breathe, grow, and return. If it's meant to be, hands that cling cannot receive. Only by releasing can the universe place its gifts in your lap. And in that quiet surrender, you might realize what you were searching for was already on its way to you. Lesson 2. The invisible burdens. Some weights we carry aren't visible to others. You smile, you keep moving forward, yet inside, something drags you down. It's not made of stone or wood, it's made of thoughts, memories, and silent fears. Invisible burdens can crush even the strongest backs, not because of their weight, but because they remain unnoticed and unaddressed for far too long. Buddhist wisdom teaches that much of our suffering doesn't stem from what's happening right now, but from the weight of yesterday that we keep carrying forward. Picture life as a journey with a backpack full of stones you never questioned. Some stones were placed there by others, expectations, judgment, comparisons. Others you added yourself, regrets you won't release, secret fears you quietly nurse, the desperate need to control the uncontrollable. Now imagine setting that backpack down and opening it for the very first time. You pick up each stone and quietly name it. Regret, fear, the urge to control. As you gently place each stone on the ground, you notice your shoulders lighten, your breath deepens, and your steps grow freer. You come to realize many of those stones were never yours to carry. In today's world, this invisible weight often manifests in subtle ways. You might catch yourself endlessly replaying past conversations, holding on to grudges, or worrying about things yet to come. Your body tightens, sleep becomes restless, joy feels distant. But look deeper. This burden isn't reality itself, but the story your mind tells about reality. The mind clings to these stones because it's familiar, not because it's necessary. The Buddha showed us that true freedom begins when we recognize these attachments and let them go. Releasing your burdens isn't a sign of weakness, it is a mark of wisdom. A traveler who refuses to set down their load will never reach the mountain peak. Likewise, a mind weighed down by attachments can never experience genuine peace. Ask yourself, what heavy stone could you release right now? Who handed it to you? And why have you carried it for so long? Is it really part of who you are, or just something you've mistaken for yourself? The truth is, you are not your regrets, your fears, or your need to control. You are so much more. Every stone you set down makes room for something fresh to enter: clarity, freedom, joy. The universe cannot pour blessings into hands already weighed down. Only when you release what isn't yours can you truly receive what is meant for you. When that moment comes, your steps will feel lighter, not because the path has changed, but because you have. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're unsure what to say, just write, "My peace attracts more." Lesson 3: The dance between effort and invitation. There's a delicate balance where striving, once a noble pursuit, begins to push life away. You tell yourself you're working hard to reach your dreams, yet the harder you force, the farther they seem to drift. You cannot push a river and expect it to flow faster. The river already knows its destination. Your job isn't to control the current, but to trust it. Buddhism teaches the middle way, balancing effort with surrender. Taking action is essential, but so is creating space. When the mind clings too tightly to deadlines or specific outcomes, it breeds tension, and tension blocks the very blessings we seek. Just as pulling on a flower's petals to make it bloom only harms it, rushing life interrupts its natural unfolding. Patience isn't passive waiting, it's acting without desperation. Picture yourself sitting quietly by a river, watching the flow bring pieces of your desires, love, opportunities, peace, gently to your shore. They come not because you chase them upstream, but because life's current carries them to you. The river doesn't need your pushing, it needs your openness to receive its gifts. In today's world, this timeless truth often slips away. We chase promotions, force connections, obsess over success timelines. We become so focused on outcomes that we forget to live the present moment. Ironically, the more we grasp, the less joy we feel. Even when we get what we wanted, a restless heart finds nothing truly satisfying. The Buddha's wisdom teaches that peace arises when effort meets trust. This isn't about doing nothing, it's about doing what you can, then letting go of what's beyond your control. Seeds grow not because we tug on them, but because we nurture them and let sun, rain, and time play their parts. Ask yourself, where in your life are you pushing instead of inviting? What might happen if you stepped back and created space for the universe to move? Would the result be delayed, or would it finally have room to arrive? When you stop forcing and start inviting, you align with life's natural flow. Doors open without struggle. People and opportunities come without being chased. The right things appear exactly when you and they are ready. Letting go doesn't mean losing control. It means choosing trust over fear. And in that space of trust, the universe often brings you more than you imagined, not because you demanded it, but because you made room for it to find you. Lesson 4: The clenched fist mindset. The Buddha likened a closed hand to a closed mind. A fist may feel powerful, but it cannot receive. Similarly, a mind locked tightly to one rigid belief cannot welcome new truth when it arrives. We confuse tightness with certainty, but often it's just fear disguised as strength. An open hand can hold the whole sky, but only if it's willing to open first. In Buddhist wisdom, clenched fist thinking traps us in our own narrow perspective. When we grip too tightly to our opinions, past experiences, or fixed ideas about how life should go, we leave no room for the unexpected blessings the universe wants to offer. Like soil compacted so hard it can't receive a seed, a closed mind cannot nurture new possibilities. Imagine kneeling in a quiet garden. The earth before you are dry and unyielding. No matter how perfect the seed, it won't grow unless you first loosen the soil. So you breathe, press your hands into the earth, and gently break it apart, letting air and space in. Suddenly the ground is ready to receive. Your mind works the same way. It needs space for fresh truths to take root. Clenched thinking shows up when you say, "This is the only way," or "I already know how this ends." It appears when you resist advice, avoid change, or judge situations before they unfold. While certainty feels safe, it can become a cage that blinds you to new paths. The Buddha invites us to loosen our mental grip and swap "I know" for "I wonder." Curiosity softens the mind, turning life from a fixed script into a living journey. An open mind adapts, receives, and grows without fearing loss. Ask yourself, what belief are you holding so tightly that it can't grow? Is it about who you are, what you can achieve, or how your future must look? What might happen if you let life surprise you? When you unclench your mind, you'll find you can hold so much more, not because you abandoned your values, but because you allowed them to expand. Just as open soil welcomes seeds and rain, an open mind embraces truth and possibility. The universe offers gifts freely, but it won't force them into a clenched fist. Release your grip, and you might find the sky resting gently in your palm. Lesson 5. The pause that feels like nothing. Right after you finally let go, there's often a strange quiet, a pause that can feel like emptiness. You might expect relief or an instant change, but instead you meet stillness. This silence can feel unsettling, but Buddhist wisdom reminds us emptiness is where life breathes. Without this space, nothing new can come in. We live in a world that urges us to constantly fill the gaps, replace relationships, chase the next goal, drown silence with noise. Yet the space after letting go isn't a void to fear, it's fertile ground, where transformation begins. Like a bow drawn back before the arrow flies, this pause is a necessary tension, a gathering of unseen energy before movement returns. Picture yourself as that bow drawn back and still, feeling the quiet stretch of waiting. This isn't wasted time, it's alignment. The moment when your inner self readies for the release that will send you toward what's meant for you. To rush this moment weakens your aim. In daily life, this pause takes many forms. After leaving a draining job, there may be days or weeks of uncertainty before new opportunities arrive. After releasing attachment to someone, there may be lonely spaces before deeper connections form. These aren't signs nothing is happening, they're signs something is being prepared. The Buddha often points to the beauty of such space. Just as we see the moon's light because of the surrounding darkness, blessings come into focus through the quiet before them. This stillness is where we gather strength and meet ourselves without distraction. Ask yourself, do you rush to fill the silence after letting go? Can you rest in the stillness without grasping for what's next? If you can, you'll discover that what once felt like emptiness becomes the clearest moment of your life. Trust that during this pause, life is quietly rearranging itself in your favor. The universe is aligning people, events, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. If you stay patient, you will feel the release, the arrow flying true toward its target. This pause is not the end of your journey, it's the breath before the next step. And in that breath, everything you deserve is already making its way to you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're unsure what to say, just type "My peace attracts more." Lesson 6. The universe's gentle tests. Often, just when you've finally let go, life presents a small challenge. It may feel like the universe is testing you, asking, "Are you really ready?" You may have loosened your grip, stepped into trust, yet something happens that makes you doubt. This isn't punishment, but a gentle test to see if your surrender is genuine. Buddhist wisdom teaches that walking the path to freedom includes both stillness and challenge. Letting go is not a one-time act, it's an ongoing practice. Sometimes the universe sends situations that stir old fears or tempt you to return to your grasp. This is the moment to stand firm, breathe deeply, and remember why you first opened your hand. It's like standing on the shore watching the tide pull back. The water recedes, leaving sand exposed and bare. You might feel abandoned, unsure if it will return, but the tides always come back, often fuller, carrying shells, treasures, and life. The retreat is not a loss, it's a gathering of strength. In life, this tide might show as an unexpected delay, a closed door, or a difficult conversation just after you've chosen to move forward. If you've released control, life may test your readiness by placing you in situations where control is impossible. These moments are not to doubt, but to deepen your trust. The Buddha spoke of impermanence, change flowing in cycles, ebb and flow, rise and fall. The challenge after release is part of that cycle. It asks, will you stay open even when the tide pulls away? Will you believe in its return? Ask yourself, what test are you facing right now that might actually mean you're close to receiving? Could your discomfort be the universe pulling back, making space to bring something greater? When you see life's challenges as gentle confirmations instead of barriers, fear shifts to faith. You realize these tests aren't obstacles, but ways to make you strong enough to receive. So when life's tide pulls away, don't run from the shore. Stand patiently in the sand, knowing the water will return, and when it does, it will bring more than you imagined. Not because you chased it, but because you trusted it to come. Lesson 7. The art of letting go without losing. There's a fear that if we let go, we'll lose what matters most. We cling to people, dreams, and outcomes as if our hold keeps them alive. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us that what's truly yours cannot be lost. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning what you love. It means trusting it enough to give it space to grow. Imagine holding a kite. You release it into the wind, and instead of falling, it soars higher. While it dances in the open sky, an invisible string of trust keeps you connected. Similarly, when we release with faith, we don't sever connections. We allow life to carry what we love to greater heights. The Buddha teaches non-attachment, not as indifference, but freedom from the suffering of control. When we cling, we shrink life down to fear. When we trust, life expands beyond what we could have planned. The art of letting go without losing is the art of trusting that the universe's design is kinder and wiser than our own. Picture yourself holding something dear, a dream, a relationship, or an image of who you think you must be. Feel its weight in your hand. Now slowly open your fingers and watch it rise like a kite, carried by the wind. In time, it may return, or it may transform into something even more fitting for your journey. Either way, you haven't lost, you've allowed. This truth shows itself again and again in life. Someone you once feared losing returns to you with deeper understanding. An opportunity you thought was gone reappears, but now in a form far better suited to you. A dream you believed had ended quietly transforms into something rich. This isn't luck, it's the natural rhythm of release and return. Ask yourself, what would you be willing to release today if you trusted it would come back improved? Would you let go of the need to control every step of your career? Would you stop holding so tightly to a fixed idea of how love must look? Would you allow your identity to evolve into something truer? The act of release is a declaration. I trust that what is mine will find me. In that trust, you free yourself from the endless fear of loss. You're open space for the universe to bring what truly aligns with your path. When you master the art of letting go without losing, you'll realize nothing real can be taken from you. Like a kite, it stays connected, not by force, but through the quiet, unbreakable thread of trust. And within that trust, you discover the truth. Letting go isn't an end. It's the beginning of a better return. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're unsure what to say, just type "my peace" attracts more. Lesson 8. The truth about control. We often confuse control with strength. We believe that by gripping every detail, outcome, and person tightly, we shield ourselves from disappointment. But Buddhist wisdom invites us to look deeper. Is control truly strength, or is it fear in disguise? The strongest grip is one that can let go. Control promises safety, but it's a fragile shield. The more we cling, the more fragile we feel, because the world keeps shifting beyond our reach. Trying to hold water in your hands only makes it slip faster. Life isn't meant to be trapped. It's meant to be lived, experienced, and trusted. Imagine standing beneath a waterfall, trying to catch water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grasp, the water slips away. Now picture opening your palms fully, letting the water flow over and around you without resistance. You still feel the water, you're part of it, but you're no longer worn out trying to contain it. In modern life, the desire for control appears everywhere, managing how others see us, forcing situations to play out on our timetable, clinging to a specific idea of success. These habits may feel empowering briefly, but they usually leave us tense, anxious, and disconnected from life's flow. The Buddha teaches that impermanence isn't a flaw, it's life's very nature. Resisting it creates suffering. Accepting it brings peace. Letting go of control doesn't mean becoming passive. It means focusing your energy on what you can influence, your actions, choices, and mindset, and releasing the rest. Ask yourself, what part of your life are you trying to control that might flow more easily if you let it go? Is there a conversation you keep rehearsing, an outcome you keep forcing, a person you try to change? What might happen if you loosened your grip? True strength isn't bending the world to your will, it's adapting gracefully to its current. Like a skilled sailor adjusting the sails instead of battling the wind, you can go further with less strain when you flow with life, rather than fight it. By releasing the illusion of control, you open space for the universe's guidance. You begin to see that life's current has always been carrying you toward what's meant for you, not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it. In that trust, you discover a power far greater than control. Lesson 9. The space where miracles happen. There's a quiet truth many overlooks. Emptiness often comes before abundance. In Buddhist terms, this isn't loss, it's preparation. The cup must be empty to be filled. Without creating space, even the greatest blessings have nowhere to rest. We spend much of our lives trying to hold on to old possessions, relationships, habits, and even outdated versions of ourselves. Just as a field cannot yield a new harvest without first being cleared, our lives cannot welcome fresh growth if they remain cluttered with what no longer serves us. Holding on may feel safe, but it leaves no room for life to surprise us. Picture your life as a vast field. The soil is fertile, but the ground is covered with last season's plants, dried stalks, tangled roots, and weeds that have overstayed their welcome. You take a deep breath, step into the field, and begin clearing. Each plant you remove represents something you've outgrown, a fear, an obligation, a memory carried too long. As the ground becomes bare, it is not empty or barren, it is ready. In modern life, this clearing can feel unsettling. The space created by letting go might feel like absence, an empty room, a silent calendar, a pause in your plans. But Buddhist teachings show us that this space is sacred. It's the pause before the song, the stillness before the sunrise. It is where the universe begins weaving something new for you. The challenge is that many rush to fill that space too quickly. We replace one relationship with another, one goal with another, fearing the silence between. But it is precisely in that silence that clarity grows. The longer we sit with it, the more we open to possibilities we couldn't see while we were busy holding on. Ask yourself, where in your life do you need to create space for what's coming? Is there a habit draining your energy? A commitment that no longer sparks joy? A belief that keeps you small? What if you released it, trusting that the emptiness left behind isn't an end, but a beginning? When you make space, you send a message to the universe that you're ready. You open your life like a clear field under the sun. In time, seeds of new opportunities will be planted. The harvest won't come from clutching the past, but from welcoming the future. And when it arrives, you'll realize that the emptiness you once feared was actually the doorway through which abundance entered. Lesson 10. Trusting the invisible thread. There are times in life when everything feels tangled. Events seem random, disconnected, even unfair. You wonder if there's any order, any guiding hand behind it all. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us there's an unseen hand weaving the finest pattern. Even if you can't see the design, it is unfolding with perfect precision. Life often feels like looking at the back of a tapestry. All you see are loose ends, knots, and threads crossing messily. From this side, there's no beauty but on the other side, the side you cannot yet see, every thread has a place, forming an image more intricate and perfect than you could imagine. The challenge is to trust that design while you're still staring at the tangled underside. Imagine your life as that tapestry. Each joy, heartbreak, delay, and chance meeting is a thread. Some are bright, others dark, but all are essential for the pattern to come through. Light threads give contrast to the dark, and darkness gives depth to the light. Without both, the picture would be flat and incomplete. When faced with uncertainty, it's tempting to pull at the threads, trying to rearrange life before it's ready. But forcing the weave only distorts the design. Trusting the process means letting the unseen hand of the universe work in its own rhythm. It means knowing even the moments that feel like mistakes may become the brushstrokes, giving your life its deepest beauty. In modern times, we often demand instant clarity. We want to know why something is happening now, where it will lead, and how it will end. But the Buddha invites us to rest in the unknown, to accept that some truths reveal themselves only when the time is right. This patience is not passive, it is active faith. Ask yourself, what if your current chaos is simply the backside of a masterpiece? What if the delays, detours, and changes are the very threads that will one day complete your life's pattern? Can you trust that even the unseen parts are necessary? When you choose to trust the invisible threads, you release the need to control every stitch. You begin to understand that life is not random, it is a work of art in progress. And one day, when you're ready, the tapestry will be turned over, revealing the magnificent design that was woven all along. Until then, you keep walking, keep living, keep trusting, knowing the masterpiece is already unfolding. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "My peace attracts more." Lesson 11. Letting life lead for one. There is a profound peace that comes when you allow life to guide instead of always insisting on leading. We're taught to take control, map every step, and keep a tight grip on the wheel. Yet, Buddhist wisdom reminds us that life whispers before it shouts. If we're too busy controlling, we miss those gentle invitations toward paths we never could have imagined. Life isn't always a straight road to plan. It's more like a dance. And in this dance, there are times when you have to let your partner lead. When you follow, you feel the subtle pressure of a guiding hand, gentle shifts in direction. You may not know the next move, but you sense that the steps are carrying you somewhere graceful. This is the beauty of letting life lead for one. Imagine closing your eyes and placing your hand in life's hand. You step onto unfamiliar ground. The music starts softly, and though you don't know the rhythm, as you relax into it, you feel yourself being turned and guided, moved into places you never would have stepped on your own. In those moments, you discover not only the joy of the dance, but the relief of releasing control. Sometimes we fear losing our way if we stop leading, but often it's in letting go that we find the truest direction. Life knows of turns and openings we can't yet see. What feels like a detour may be the path that saves us from an unseen storm ahead. Buddhist practice teaches us deep listening, not only to others, but to the quiet rhythms of existence. The rise and fall of breath, the changing seasons, the way opportunities arrive when we stop chasing. When you follow instead of lead, you create space for these rhythms to guide you. You start noticing signs, gentle nudges, doors opening without force. Ask yourself, where in your life could you follow instead of lead, even just for a while? Where could you release the need to plan every step and allow the next step to reveal itself? Letting life lead is not giving up power, it's trusting in a greater choreography that understands your deepest needs and highest path, even when you can't see it yet. When you stop trying to control the dance, you'll find that life has been waiting to sweep you into something far more beautiful than you could have designed. And in that surrender, the steps finally begin to make sense. Bonus lesson. When you're ready to receive, a quiet moment often arrives on your path. The struggle stops, not because you forced a result, but because you opened yourself enough to receive. It's a subtle shift, easy to miss. In that instant, you release the clenching, the constant reaching, the restless need to control. Your hands become empty, and in that emptiness, your heart feels full. This is the moment the universe has been waiting for, the moment you're truly ready to receive. It's like the first drops of rain after a long drought. For weeks, maybe months, the soil was hard, dry, cracked. Then almost without warning, the sky opens. Water rushes in, full, generous, unstoppable. The earth drinks deeply, and every seed that once lay dormant begins to stir. Just like that, your own heart awakens as the blessings you've waited for finally arrive. To be ready to receive is not simply about wanting something, it's about having the spaciousness within to hold. If your hands are full of fears, old grudges, and outdated dreams, where will the new find room? The practice of letting go isn't about loss, it's about clearing space for what is meant to come to you. A cluttered heart cannot welcome a new sunrise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the feeling of that first rain after a long dry season. Feel it soaking into the parched earth, washing away dust, cooling the air. Let this rain be the love, opportunity, or peace you've been waiting for. Can you feel yourself soften enough to let it in? Can you stop shielding yourself, afraid it might slip away too fast? Buddhism teaches that readiness is not about external timing, but internal ripeness. Fruit doesn't fall because the clock says so, it falls because it's fully ripe. Likewise, life delivers what you deserve when you're truly ready to hold it with open, unburdened hands. Ask yourself, if everything you deserve arrived tomorrow, could you receive it fully, or would you still be half-closed, distracted, gripping the remnants of what no longer serves you? The moment you're ready to receive is no accident. It's the sum of every small surrender, every act of trust, every letting go that empties your hands and clears your heart. When that moment comes, the universe does not delay, like rain to waiting earth. It arrives in fullness, and it stays. The silent prison of holding on. Holding on feels safe, but traps you in fear. The tighter your grip, the less room for new blessings. True peace begins when you release control, the weight you cannot see. Emotional burdens become invisible over time. Letting go of these unseen weights frees your energy, lightens your spirit, and lets life flow again. The dance between effort and invitation. Life responds better to openness than force. Shifting from chasing to allowing creates space for opportunities to come to you. Clenched fist thinking. A rigid mind cannot grow. Loosing fixed beliefs and releasing mental tension opens the door for new possibilities. The pause that feels like nothing. After letting go, there's often a quiet emptiness. This stillness is not a void but fertile ground where transformation begins. The universe's gentle tests. Life may challenge you after you release something important. These are not punishments but confirmations that you're ready to receive something greater. The art of letting go without losing. Letting go doesn't mean losing forever. What is truly meant for you will return, often in a way that's even better than before. The truth about control is that it's often fear. in disguise. Trusting life to unfold naturally allows things to align in ways your own force never could. The space where miracles arrive is created by clearing room in your heart and mind. Abundance needs space to grow. When you make that space, you prepare yourself to receive the blessings waiting to enter. Trust the invisible thread. Even when you can't see how everything connects, believe that life is weaving it all into a larger, more beautiful design. Letting life lead for once means you don't always have to be in control. When you listen and follow life's quiet signals, you find yourself in places you could never have reached by force. The moment you're ready to receive comes when your hands and heart feel open, free of fear, demands, and conditions. Letting go isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. It takes courage to release what you cannot control and faith to trust what you cannot yet see. In Zen philosophy, an empty hand isn't a sign of loss, it's readiness to hold something new. Life offers constantly, but only to those who've made space to receive. As the Buddha taught, you only lose what you cling to. When you stop clutching what was, you open yourself to what can be. The universe moves in harmony with open hearts, not always giving what you want, but always giving what you need. The art is being still enough to notice and wise enough to accept. So I leave you with this: if tomorrow the universe came knocking, would it find you weighed down by yesterday's grip, or standing with empty hands ready to receive the gift? If this message touched your heart, please like and share this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Insightful Journey for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful life.